Hi, welcome to the Old People's Complaint Desk. I'm your host, Wainio, and finally I have a complaint. Yeah, today's complaint is going to be one of those things about the body that happens especially to old people. Right. This will be several content videos across the way as we talk about different aspects, in case you didn't know about them. So this way you'll have the info about certain aspects of the body and how it changes when it gets old. But first, if you find that you like this, please click the button like. If you find that you want to see more of this, please subscribe. And if you want to hear more about next topic or something, like the continuation of these topics, then please hit notify. And if you think a friend might help or be helped in the smallest way, then please share. All right? And then, hey, we'll see what happens, right? But other than that, today, what would we like to complain about? Let's complain about the ears. Yay! Ears and hearing. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know about you, but being a septuagenarian, an official old guy, remember, and I can't hear so well. I have hearing aids. Yes, how many of you folks out there have hearing aids, huh? How'd you get them? Why'd you get them? Does it help? Does it hinder? Are you so conscious about it? You know, if somebody should see your hearing aid? No? There's a whole bunch of questions about it, isn't it? Well, the history of my hearing is simple. High school, rock band, bass guitarist. Put your head next to an amplifier because Jimi Hendrix did it. We don't know why we're doing it, but we're getting this loud feedback noise. And that definitely did do something to my right ear. That was for a couple of years. Yep. Go skeet shooting with an uncle. Hearing protectors, what's that? Do 3 rounds of 25 shots, 25 skeet. Right? Okay. What else? Military service, machine guns, 30 caliber, 50 caliber rifles, cannons, you know, would you actually believe that I sat or stood on the bridge of a ship looking at the forward gun as it did naval gunfire support drills, shooting, boom. I'm sitting out on the bridge, no hearing protectors, nothing, boom. Because I wanted to catch the projectile coming out of the cannon muzzle, boom. I may have gotten it, but I have probably about 20 shots, cannon shots, and I'm outside. Meh. Before that, I worked a job in a record manufacturing company. You know what you do with all the vinyl, the excess vinyl that spills onto the garbage can after it presses the record? You grind it. The grinder is a big machine. It takes a big chunk. Oh, man. And loud. OSHA came around when I was there, and I said, yeah, it's okay job. Minimum wage. I can hang around, goof around on the job, but it's really loud. They had to wear hearing protectors after that. Not before. Not when I was there. Anything else? Yeah. You name it. Drive down the road with your left window open with your arm hanging out the window. And after that, for a while, you're going to have some issues. So, hearing and old people. Yes. A lot of old people have issues with hearing. And it comes down to a point to when you want to decide to hear. Now, I got to admit, a lot of times, I don't want to hear what's going on because I'm not interested. You know, it's like, oh, I didn't hear what that person said, but you know what? I really don't care. That happens. Another one where it's can't keep up a conversation because your retention of anything that you hear is very minimal. You want to know what your hearing does to you when it's negatively impacted? You go get a neuropsych eval. Yeah, I know. That's where they take a look at everything and they come back with a report and say, hey, here's what's going on. Well, my mom, right, Molly, my mom had dementia. So when she passed away, I said, I got to go find out about me. So I went and got a neuropsych eval. And you know what I found out? Every section I was average, above average, or even in the excellent group, except for anything that had to do with hearing. So in other words, you give me a couple of paragraphs and I'll read it and boom, I'm right on the spot as to when you ask me questions about what's going on. I remember, I retain, I do all that stuff. But you tell me the same thing, even if I'm wearing my hearing aids and my retention stinks. Yes, it stinks. That's my problem. But in dealing with my problem, I have to communicate to other people who are going to talk to me, and I have to let them know what I need from them for them to speak to me. A few simple rules. Please try not to change topics or subjects real quick, rapid fire, because I'm still thinking about the other one that you passed by. Oh, 2 other ones. No, 3 other ones that you passed by, because I'm still slow retending and understanding anything spoken that comes to me through sound. Don't be in another room when you speak to me or yell to me through the walls. It doesn't work. And if you're going to yell to me through the walls, don't face the opposite direction. So there are very definite things at the heart of hearing, the hearing impact it can do to the hearing people, the people who are talking to them, to help them communicate better. And really, it goes back to the very same basics that we all learned when we were in school. How to communicate, speak clearly, enunciate, look at the person you're speaking with, make sure you have some contact and that the other person is actually dialed in. In other words, I'm mincing and chopping onions. What? Ouch! So for those that can hear, talking to the ones that can't hear very well, be attentive to what they're doing so they can give you their attention. And a lot of other things going on with that. And if you look at your local universities, you're probably going to, maybe you'll have a hearing and speech center. And those hearing and speech centers are great. They have master's degree students, or they have a PhD who's doing seminars. They always need people who can't hear. And what they're all going to do is they're going to give you information, maybe one-on-one information for about, once a week for 6 weeks, that actually inform you as to what's going on with your hearing loss, how it really affects you, and how you can get others to hopefully communicate with you better so that you can understand them better. Check it out. Look around for it. Go look for a school with a speech and hearing center. Right? Now, as far as yourself, well, if you really can't hear that much, you got to first know it. Yeah, I can't hear people talk to me, but I've been getting tested. I think I started getting tested when I was 40. All of a sudden, it's an annual exam, and the doc says, go in this chamber, this room, soundproof room. And that was when I first tested it. And sure enough, there's that little dip in frequency. Yeah, we'll monitor this. And over the years, sure enough. So with me, I have a little special thing going on with my hearing. I have this thing called tinnitus, otherwise known as ringing in your ear. Well, the only time when it actually does the ringing in your ear, go like this. And you can actually hear the bells chime. You can hear the bells chime. Otherwise, you just hear like a, or whatever, a continuous sound they call ringing in the ears. But my tinnitus is so old, right, so old that I don't have a ringing in my ears. I have the Panamanian rainforest on the Continental Divide in my ears. Just imagine what do you think it would sound like if you were in the Panama rainforest on the top of the Continental Divide, and what would it sound like? Well, bugs, insects, birds, crickets, monkeys, you name it. They're all making noises. They're all clicking. They're all screeching. They're all tapping. That's what my ears sound like under normal circumstances. And how do I know what the Panamanian rainforest sounds like? Because I was there. And it's like, oh, and I think later on down the road, my memory must have thought that, remembered that and pulled it in and said, hey, this is what you're going to hear from now on. I was able to hear properly in the days of the Panamanian rainforest. But who knew it would ever visit me again this way? So I have the tinnitus. Now, when you can hear better, the tinnitus sound recesses. So in other words, it gets more into the background, but it's never going to go away. William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy from Star Trek had an explosion come down in the middle of them, and both of them, boop, and one guy had tinnitus in his right ear, the other one had it in the left ear. And they attributed it back to that special effects of the explosion. Tinnitus is another topic altogether, but it does work in with hearing. Should I have a drink of water? Please excuse me while I have a sip. All right. But this topic is hearing. Just ears, just a hearing in the ears, and the aspect of a hearing aid. Well, they have hearing aids now. Now, at the very first time you wear a hearing aid, you might be a little self-conscious, and you're going to want to get those small ones that go in there, and nobody sees unless they're looking right into your ear, and you just grow your hair long and then let it come down over your ears, and you don't have to worry about anybody looking in your ears. All right, but that one doesn't work all that well as compared to the other ones, for several reasons, but most of all because there's not a lot of real estate for electronics. So you get the ones with the little battery pack or whatever pack it is behind your ears. Oh yeah, and they wirelessly charge and everything. And that stuff has the electronics to be able to connect into your phone, so you can change volume, you can change profiles, get metrics, do a bunch of other things. Like, it's nice when your phone rings, no matter where you are, and you just say, hello, and you're acting like you're talking on a speakerphone, but nobody else can hear anything except you. I like that. So the aspect of hearing and hearing aids, odds are, if you're over a certain age, you're going to have hearing issues, and as you get older, your hearing degrades, your issues become more pronounced. If you have tinnitus, things like that get a lot worse also, much worse. So think about a hearing aid. I have one. It makes a big difference. And when I take my hearing aid out and I walk around the house, anybody says anything to me, I say, I don't have my ears in. And that way they leave me alone, because the world is a very loud place. All right, so that's it for this topic. We're going to go on to the next topic in the body, which is an actual complaint, and I will come back with that in a short bit. Until then, think about liking, subscribing, sharing, and what's the other one? Notifying. That's it. Thanks a lot. I'll see you later.